To have the courage to look beneath the surface of deception, uncovering what lurks beneath the public awareness, is to confront the unknown with a sense of conviction. Unless an individual has the determination to push beyond the limits of conventional thought, progress in the form of decisive action will continue to remain elusive. Without a firm belief in the accountability of those who hold public office, the deception will only continue. Unless the spirit of change is genuine, attempts to usher in new ways of tackling societal problems will only be met with resistance. As change is something people naturally resist out of a fear of confronting the unknown. Though in order to stir the hearts and minds of those seeking a brighter future, decisive action regarding the implementation of practical policies that work in the best interests of the people should be the highest priority. Yet the issue is often overlooked once politicians take office, as the interests of authority rarely align with those of the common people. Unless the public pay close attention to the workings of government, then the government will take advantage of the public's willful ignorance. If recent history is anything to go by, then the public should pay close attention to the policies being implemented for the sake of avoiding deception. Since the powers that be control the political process, it requires patience on behalf of the individual to navigate the minefield of lies and empty promises. To move beyond deliberate distortions of reality, the desire for truth must be stronger. Unless the desire for truth is greater than deception, the veil of ignorance will never dissolve. For the bonds of ignorance can be extremely difficult to break. Therefore, one's intention must be of a genuine nature, as without a true sense of conviction, the endeavor will never see the light of day. For aspiration alone is not enough to overcome the hardship encountered in the pursuit of personal goals. Without a strong sense of conviction, one's endeavor is compromised from the very beginning. Given the pursuit's outcome is inextricably linked to time and effort, to overcome hardships imposed by corrupt corporate entities, one might seek to expose their deceitful practices. Considering the sensitive nature of the subject, word of mouth can draw much needed attention to the problem. If those in power act as though they are beyond the reach of common law, they leave themselves exposed to public scrutiny. Though unless people have the courage to confront tyranny wherever it arises, the chances of having one's voice heard in the public square are extremely slim. As tyrants seek to silence any form of opposition, for the public's silence is a necessary step in the implementation of authoritarian rule. Without the ability to silence those seeking to expose corruption, the ability to control the population is severely compromised. Without the ability to subdue dissenting voices, criminals can't ascend to power, since freedom of speech prevents those with hostile intentions from operating out in the open. Therefore, civil liberties pose the greatest threat to authoritarian rule. To implement the changes required for an authoritarian government, it is crucial to influence public perception by means of propaganda. Unless public sentiment is in favor of radical change being implemented, those seeking to seize the reins of power will encounter resistance. In the absence of widespread support, those seeking to subvert the public interest will struggle to implement the necessary changes. Should the public decide to unite in defense of their liberties, there's only so much tyrants can do to prevent an uprising. Given the disparity between the oppressor and the oppressed, all that stands between the minority that govern and the rest of the population is an acceptance of their authority. Should the people ever awake from this spell, the natural order would be restored. This, in turn, would usher in a new age for humanity, extinguishing the ways of the old.